Kanska, and I'm happy to announce the release of my latest studio album called Rêve The Dream. With this new studio album, as a producer, I wanted to create a fresh sound of Latin jazz music, mixing with a fusion feel and other styles. And I wanted to capture the positive spirit and story behind each song.
No more blues, I'm going back home. No.
The song titled No More Blues might be translated to mean no more drama, because life nowadays is full of negative information with political destruction, environmental degradation, abuse to humans and animals. As an artist, I wanted to create my vision of the place that I am longing to be, and I wanted to share things of real value in this life. The composition Le Rêve, an original instrumental composition that I composed. The other songs are 8 well-known Bossa Novas standards, but by some of the best-known Brazilian singers-songwriters, include popular tunes such as Bananeira by João Donato, Dindi by Antonio Carlos Jobim, and the iconic Girl from Ipanema by Carlos Jobim. These songs provided creative and very challenging opportunities for me as the vocalist, pianist, and producer to find new ways for unique expressions. I wanted to do something that I haven't heard before. And the Brazilian music, particularly Bossa Nova, is my favorite style. And when I perform the Samba, I move my body, completely relaxed and like a fish in the water. The album includes a swing song by Cole Porter, From This Moment On. And experimenting with this song, we used Brazilian rhythm baião for the verse, and we kept chorus in swing feel. That piece is often performed as a traditional swing. Also, album included an upright bass inspiration composition by my husband, co-producer and arranger, bass player Zdenek, from which the Latin jazz theme for the album actually originated. I was practicing an original composition of Zdenek, upright bass inspiration, or how we call UBI, just abbreviation of the title. And working on the interlude with wonderful harmony and interesting voicing, and playing and analyzing them, I could hear a melody that started moving the song in a different direction. And I ended up composing a totally new music piece. And the collaboration with my husband reminds me of the story of Adam and Eve, in that an allegory can be made that Le Rêve was created from the rib of the upright bass inspiration. I'm so glad that these two compositions are in this album, and you can hear influences and connection of music, two musicians, two soulmates who collaborate and share life together, each inspiring the other. The harmony of Le Rêve has that modern modal concept, and wanted to mix that modern rock fusion style with a smooth classic Bossa Nova sound. I wanted to convey the power and speed of our busy lives that produces a sound that goes up and down, and I wanted to combine that nostalgia and softness of those more laid-back times. I started working on this album in 2017, recording in August in Medford, Massachusetts. And I remember it was on August 18 when Zdenek had his birthday. And we recorded at our drums recording studio of Alberto Neto, who recorded also all drum tracks for the record. It took another year and a half to complete the post-production of the whole album. And during that time, I was traveling from Boston to India, where I taught 2 semesters at Shvarnar Bhumi Royal Academy. I was busy, but I still was focusing on my album, on tracks, and I was doing their editing, and I recorded some voice overdubs in Chennai. Then when we came back to US, we flew all the way to LA to start working with legendary mixing engineer Barry Rudolph, who did a great job. And he brought the record to other level. This was very interesting collaboration, and especially for Zdenek to see how this wonderful mixing engineer who had that years of experience working with Aretha Franklin, Chick Corea, Bon Jovi, so many stars, you know. And particularly, it was interesting how he worked on the sound of my voice. You know, warming up with this beautiful preamps. Even for me, it was so interesting. We would be in the studio whole day just mixing one piece, 8-9 hours. But it was really inspiring process.
Sad is to live in solitude, far from your tranquil altitude. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a dream.
Our last mixing session was on December 31st, the last day of the year 2018. We had a wonderful mixing session with amazing Varun Amarman at his studio, Rotary Records in Springfield, Massachusetts. He was so open and flexible to our unusual experiments with the fusion sounds, mixing Zdenek's composition for Christie.
For the mastering, I asked Dan White, who did mastering of my previous album, Who Needs Love, and he brought tracks to that final stage that we could enjoy it. Thank you so much for your amazing work. With Zdenek, we established our recording studio, and finally, all my best voice overdubs was done at ZCK Recording Studios. And maybe you would tell me why. So, when you are in your place where you create, you have that peace You have that cozy environment. And I had more peace and freedom to experiment with all my music ideas without rush, re-recording, re-listening. It was so wonderful. And I would like to thank again Zdenek because he was my recording engineer.
That speaks to leaves, telling stories that no one believes, stories of love belong to you and me.
Together with Zdenek, we arranged and produced the songs from this album, and I'm especially grateful for his wonderful, timeless music gift of the song for Christie. Zdenek wrote this enchanting music for me, and in my opinion, it's some of the most wonderful music from the contemporary jazz style, with so much space and infinity that it makes you embrace the unembraceable. It is magical with a dreamy sound of strings, pads, and beautiful chord progressions with open voicings. And when I played them on keys, I felt just like heaven.
We like combination of jazz and Latin, so I came with this idea with Christie, because I think today is the time, especially for creative musicians, to combine different influences, even if it's more jazz oriented. We take an inspiration from, for example, all different kinds of Brazilian rhythms. This country is unbelievably rich for their rhythm. In addition, they have also nice harmony. But we didn't want to sound like many bands, just 100% play how Brazilian musicians play this music. Because even if we want, it will not be like that. And that's the beauty, because we put our background of classical educated musicians, jazz educated musicians, and we all like fusion. Basically fusion is like mixing. So we took Brazilian tradition and add our flavor. And you can hear from arrangements or different tunes, where it's mixing all these different beautiful Brazilian rhythms with swing, jazz harmony, Brazilian harmony. But who cares actually? In the end of the day, it's just music. Also, for me, was another era of my development, because I'm not here just like bass player or composer arranger, but I'm here also like a recording engineer who did some editing, and I'm very grateful to learn some beautiful techniques from very known engineer Barry Rudolph, and from there I'm just keep going to learn on my own and talk with people who do this job well.
I would like to thank all the musicians who recorded on this album. One and only Christie Kanska on electric and upright bass. Hard to express with these words all my gratitude for all that hard work that he did for this album, not only as an arranger, producer, as well as a bass player. We had talented Matt Savage on piano and keyboard, and Ethan Kasovka on acoustic guitar, and Javier Rosario on electric guitar. And because it's Brazilian music, we're so happy to invite for this record a Brazilian drummer, Alberto Neto. And they not was just hired musicians for the project, but musicians with whom I perform all my gigs. And they was really involved in my experiments, doing their best solos and coloring the music with the sound of the instruments on my record. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
This is just a little samba I built upon a single note. Other notes I want to follow, but they really say that no. Now this new one is the consequence of the one we've just been through. It's the born to be a unavoidable consequence of you. There's so many people who can just say nothing or nearly nothing. I had used up all the skill I know, and at the end I come to nothing, or nearly nothing. So I come back to my first note, as I must come back to you. I will go into that one note of the love I feel for you. And it wants the whole show, re mi fa sol la ti do. If you find yourself not sure, let the note you know. Shoo-ba-dee-dee-doo-ba, ba-ba-ba-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-ba.
This CD for us is like baby, and we put everything what we could, musically, financially, emotionally. So we will really appreciate if you can support us just by buying the CD or coming on our concerts. That's what we're doing for, to share this music. Thank you very much, and see you somewhere on our concerts.
I hope you all will enjoy listening to my album as much as I enjoy creating it.
Our desire, and suddenly that kiss, that kiss, that kiss, that kiss.